All right, so we're back at the spot where I had my little shelter here, and we're going digging through the woods trying to find what pieces we can, because after the show, of course, they scatter them all about. So I chose this spot in particular because if you look around, the water's not too far over there, so it's not too far to water, but I'm kind of sunk down here. So I'm protected from the weather, from the bushes and the trees around. But you can also tell from the ground that it's not like a old swamp or like a water hole if it really rains. Then if you look that way, there's the mud flats out there. So I could wake up in the morning and sneak out and get a good look early in the morning of if there was any animal movement. Firewood wasn't far. There was a little bit around in these woods, but right across the mud flat is the big burn, and so there was plenty of firewood. So those are some of the things I was thinking about. And then obviously I just found a nice little flat spot here and started building what was a pretty quick shelter so that I could get to hunting and fishing, but it's quite effective. I want to make it small enough that we could, as the snow came, I could bury it with snow and use the snow as insulation that was delivered to me rather than hauling big logs and all that kind of stuff to try to insulate it. But yeah, so we'll get started on trying to rebuild this thing, see if we can puzzle piece it, Lincoln log it back together. I'm sure we'll have to cut a bunch of logs. We've used some of them for other projects over there, so anyway.
I mean, are these some of the original logs you even used?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can see, oh yeah, so I'll tell you how I chose the size. You can see the cabin little chinks out of here. And we had a 16 by 10 tarp, and so I wanted a pitch on my roof that gave me, that I could at least stand up like this for getting dressed and stuff. So I wanted it somewhat high enough, but also, and 10 feet long, and I needed it to be able to lay down, so it needed to be at least 6.5 feet in this direction by 10 feet that direction, and then with not too steep of a roof to where I had some leftover tarp in the end that I could cut off and use as a door flap to make a pretty easy door. So that's kind of what made me determine my shelter size, which is, who's good at math? If you got 2 7-foot peaks and you want a 6.5 or so foot ground, you got some trigonometry you can do, or algebra, or whatever they call it.
I think that was geometry.
Oh, okay.
Triangles. There we go.
Anyway, so let's lay the first square out to give us an idea where things will be. These are all for later in the process. One down. So if I can get the rough square of what we're going for, then we can actually take a little more time and build, because we have clay and stone around, we can actually build a little fireplace in here, which will be cool, and it's an improvement on what I did during the show. Of course, then I was just going for kind of speed and efficiency, but grabbing one of these. And could you roll that one so that it's which way? Anyway,
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go. See if we can make one of these fit. Set that in like so. Set that in like so. And we're kind of getting started. With these cabins, I see this a lot on the show. People kind of stack all the logs first and then chink. But up here where you got moss all overgrown, it's easier to lay out and then put all your moss down and then set your next row of logs. Then you don't have to come back and pack them all in. Next, we should go get a bunch of moss and layer it down.
Cool.
Pack it in here and lay it on the top.
All right.
Now we should also build our fireplace right now.
So rocks and moss.
We need rocks, we're gonna need moss and clay to start with. If we can get some roughly like this, reach under there and pull it up like so. And you got stuff you can just kind of lay in on the logs. Pack it all in there. honestly. Do that. Lay them all down as you go. Since we have the shovel.
So you're digging the fireplace right now, right?
Yeah, so right now I'm just digging out a little fireplace. So I'll dig the hole with a channel out for some fresh air. And then we'll stack rocks right here like that. About this high. And then we'll put like some flat rocks here. And then the back will stack around and going up.
Cool.
Say again?
Your bag's on the way.
Oh my god.
But I hope I'm gonna
So an extra 490.
Then I'm gonna run a air thing out here. Just to let this fire get fresh air later. All right. Now, that's probably good for now. We should probably start, oh, we are hauling a bunch of rocks. And, yeah, sweet. On this one, so for these in particular, it'd be nice to have like a flat one, like maybe this high.
Yeah.
And get this first row as nice as we can, and then we can kind of piece it together. But I got some pieces for you. So the nice thing about having our old ridgepole things here is we can probably copy the old style here. Doosh. Come on. Not much. Gonna
Is that what this whole field is, clay? Or is there specific pockets of it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Then we'll just have somebody hauling muck. People finding rocks.
There was ideas that were cool, but it was bad execution.
Now let's mud it up. So this first layer we'll just pack all our holes here with our mortar. Oh yeah. Nice service. Charter flight for your luggage. Not quite. There, that is looking good. And then we need a little, some kind of a triangle rock to slap in right there. There she goes. Oh, that beauty. Woo! You know, we just need to make this little curve. So.
You have enough rock? For sure.
No, I'll need quite a bit more.
More rocks?
Yeah, I mean,
Did you have a bunch crack and replace them while you
well,
were
actually,
going?
when I didn't bother building the chimney, again, I was like not as worried about the comforts as I was about food. So I built a quick shelter. I got a bunch of this slate and lined the roof, just lined the whole area with slate, so that because that was quick and easy.
Yeah. So this is gonna be like the luxury version.
This is the
of a
luxury
shelter.
version.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see how the little chimney can go up. These little pieces you can shove in there to keep some of the wobble out.
This is looking good.
Starting to. Might actually have a decent fire pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need one that goes from there to there. Yes. All right.
One strike and it's going.
Because he's a fish.
Put it back there. Ready to put that thing on and clay it up. Get the heat drawn out of there. Once it's covered too, the wind will help. You know, you can kind of see the smoke drawn in and up out of there. Nice.
Will that take us like an hour or two?
Feel that nice warm. Yeah. Took us an hour or two. Got a fair bit. Probably not perfectly mixed. What?
Can I fish for a little bit?
Oh yeah, go fish. Good idea. So let's cut, I guess we could cut down a couple more trees.
We could just do the A-frame and the ridge pole.
Yeah, we could just A-frame it. We just do straight A-frame. We don't have to do the cabin thing. That's like kind of was just an extra touch. So let's get a bunch of moss and chink in right here. This is use so little cordage. So one overhand knot there as a stopper. The other overhand knot. See if we have enough. Let's see what's the opposite. Like that, and here if you want to look over here you can kind of see how it go in from the same side as that one, and then when I tighten this and I kind of crank this back and forth, see how this knot's going to run into that one?
Yeah, okay, I see.
And then
and
then that other one runs into this string that I'm pulling and holds it tight like that. Super nice. And I wasn't doing them that close, I was honestly doing them probably like this. And then
oh, you put a bunch along the way.
Yeah, joists, and then and honestly I'll put one on the outside of these logs too, so that you have this slot between these
and then
two,
you put
and
in
then
your
fill
stuff
it
in between. Gotcha.
Yep. So we could do that. Let's just do that. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you want to get crank. And really tug it, and you'll see it kind of holds it. The nice thing with the paracord too, if you want to be even, look, you can just cut it there, and then you can give it the old
Yeah.
burn and melt it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's kind of awkward. So this knot, if you didn't see it, was overhand knot in the end. This is just a way to lash things well. That doesn't use a ton of cordage. You could lash things parallel to each other, cross like this. Just go through, and then whatever way this string's coming out, you go in the same way.
Okay.
Like that, and then you can crank that knot again. And as you crank it around, see how it tightens against itself. Yeah. And then you get it nice and tight. Looks like this one, yeah. And if you remember, I had it hanging out the front a ways. Oh, that's actually just the right length, which means it might not have been the ridge pole. There we go. Let's go to right to the ground. Let's see if we reach the ground on all four sides here. Oh yeah, we're a little high. Alright, if I'm here, honestly this is taller than you need in here. Like, it's luxurious,
stand
but it
up
doesn't
all the
need
way.
to be
Yeah.
that tall. And given our chimney and stuff, I think we should just shorten it a bit.
And then you would cut a hole here?
So you want to cut those jam knots and just redo it?
Yeah. Oh, that's what we did. Yeah.
Dad, are they using this?
It's gonna be I think Mama's getting the food from the Delkin. Right there. We'll cut it. Yep.
Not skilled.
We're gonna cut it right, like, oops, not right there actually. We're gonna cut it right about.
This is where you did your. This is where you had your filter last time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the same spot.
Same spot. So, here's Lana. You gonna cut it with that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I have to step on it. All right, so that one will go there.
There you go.
Whoa, sorry.
Boom. So let's see, what angle do we want to cheat it all the way forward? And then I think we're about 10 feet, so for now I'll just pace it. 3, 6, 9.
Back a little more.
There we go. That's probably right about like so. Now let's test my eyeball by grabbing one of these. Typically it helps to skin the sticks off first while it's standing. The ones that are easy to reach.
And it's a nice bite too.
Yeah, that much that bites in with one swing. So, and it doesn't, because that single bevel, it doesn't want to ricochet out. So.
Especially when you get to like the heartwood, like on bigger trees.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't jump as much.
Yeah, for sure. Doesn't take much energy. Less energy than a saw, honestly. And typically, skin the sticks on the opposite side of the tree if you're going safety first. I'll touch it up fairly often, just hit it with my Leatherman file, or with, you can use the back of anything that's a 90 degree, so like you could use the back of the saw. As long as you don't get it really dull, just doing that will take the burrs off. You know, it doesn't have to, you don't even need a file, and like feel that it's like super sharp. I've been using it all day, so yeah, it doesn't take much. And then these Leathermans are nice because they do have the diamond file if you hit like a rock or something. Yeah, so I just kept touching it up.
There's a lot of pitch on that one ridge pole.
Which one? Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's a good antiseptic.
Hey Ronnie, I think you want to go underneath?
Nice.
Oh. Snapped one of your entrance rocks.
You block it off with rocks?
Yeah, just lay a bunch of rocks on that tarp. Coming along. Then
All right.
there we go. Get it right around that edge, it'll be beautiful. Oh yeah. Nice. Get a bunch of trees and lean them against the outside too, so that.
I just chopped up that big tree. There's a bunch of boughs over there.
Oh yeah. Just do all this kind of stuff on here so that it doesn't blow in the wind unnecessarily. Grassy bed.
I won't just do that one. I want to watch this.
Other ones.
Not even help.
We threw yours off to the side.
Oh yeah, those are rejects.
The air coming in there is really feeding it in here.
Yeah, it's not gonna be smoky in here at all.
Nope.
Yeah, I guess there's a few leaks in there right now, but those are easy to fix.
Any of those holes up? Yeah, that's the big one.
Oh yeah.
And then as you're bored, you can build the chimney a little higher if you want even more to draw. A big view on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Close against that outside pillar, you know, be up against that.
So
And
all
then-
of this is
And then this
filled
you just
in.
fill in with logs. Yeah.
Burning all these calories, building your
Just
shelter.
like
Was that the same deadhead you had on the shelter before?
Yeah, I found this. I actually found a bunch more. During the show, I had probably, I don't know, 6-8 sheds. And this deadhead, as I found as I scouted around and was hunting and trapping. Really kind of fun, gives you something to find. A little caribou. I never saw any caribou or any fresh sign of caribou, but apparently they've been here in the past. I know there have been really low numbers lately for some reason, so we saw a little wolf today, so maybe that accounts for it a bit. I think disease has been going around, but anyway, cool animals, fun to find their sheds.
Yeah, no, it is fun.
All right, so we rebuilt a real quick style version of my shelter again, just to show you how it would go. I left the front off so you guys can see in. We got light in there. First off, you can see I would continue to add more branches on the outside for a couple reasons. One, that keeps the tarp pressed down and keeps it from flapping in the wind. And two, as you get snow, the snow collects on those branches and keeps it from running off, and it ends up self-insulating itself, kind of snow caves you in. I'd grab snow and shovel it on here as we went, but before I got it completely buried, the show ended up in. And we did, over there on the beach, find one of my 2 skis I had. I was, again, if we were gonna be, the show ended the end of November. Had it gone into January or so, I was getting ready to be able to run a trap line on skis. They also worked well for spreading my weight over the ice on ice fishing while the ice was thin. But then we go to the shelter. So here you can see, if you look here, we've got 2 logs, one on each side of these bottom logs, and that allows us to, right as you can see here, you'll just lay moss down and then slot another log in, lay moss, slot, all the way up until you fill up this, seal it up. Do the same on this little spot. I had it, this bottom of my door, nice and measured so that it would like click into place on these 2 logs. And then sealed my door with rabbit fur, got it packed with moss so it actually was kind of sealed. But then come in here, and it's real basic. Of course, measured out to be this long. Don't want any extra space because I'm trying to heat as little as possible. I didn't need to build a bed. I ended up getting a moose hide. Just laid the moose hide down, and that'll do just as well as any bed. We'll do the same here. Finish filling up the back, and then for the fireplace here, we built a actual stone brick fireplace this time because we had the extra hands. Like I explained earlier, it has some advantages, some disadvantages. It holds more heat and it manages the smoke really well. But the one thing about as I explained earlier, the little hood vent system I had set up is it did give me a lot more space to hang meat right over the fire and smoke, which was kind of nice. a little easier perhaps to dry your clothes over the fire, but this would probably be a little warmer. But you can see inside it's pretty basic. We'd have those branches on the outside. I'd run some horizontally along here just to keep the tarp from sagging in. And that's it. Again, you want to keep your shelters pretty simple, make them pretty quickly. Then as you're hunting and fishing and trapping, spending your most time doing that. But of course, you'll always have time back at the shelter here where you can improve, seal up any leaky spots. It's never going to be warm like your home, but you want to make sure there's no holes leaking air through your shelter. So you want to get it really nice and sealed. And when you do that, it's that much more important that you have a good smoke management system, whether it be stone fireplace or a like the hood vent setup that I had, whatever it is. You're always using the resources you have. Sometimes you won't have clay, that limits your options, or stones, but you can always pull off the little hood vent if you need. Otherwise, go the extra mile, build yourself a nice fireplace.